All right, today we're going to take a look at a critical support level for Nvidia or NVDA. I'm going to go in some thoughts and insights on maybe whether you should or should not buy the dip. And it's going to depend on your own personal risk tolerance, investment style, and that kind of thing. So keep in mind, none of these are recommendations to buy, sell, or trade any stocks or options. Okay, so let's go ahead and check things out here with Nvidia as I go ahead and take a look at some of these things. Really, it's starting to pull back, and you could say, hey, it's getting into some trouble area. And right here, this key level that you're watching is basically 286. So 286, as I look at the price point, we have support at this level, holding it up. And right now we're getting right into that area as well. Now we are having some selling pressure. The market is having a little bit of trouble and tough times. And if you go in and take a look at the daily, right now you can see the market or this stock is having a bit of trouble. So from a shorting perspective, this would be the place to take a short. But why would you take a short? It really comes down to the type of trader or investor that you are. So as you take a look at this sheet right below you, the question is are you a day trader, swing trader, or long-term investor? Because if you're kind of a day trader, you might say, okay, well, I'll take a gamble on this on the short side when it breaks, and I might hold it for a day or two, okay? If you're a swing trader, you might try and look for a possible bounce here and say, okay, well, I'm going to swing trade this until it goes in and comes up to this level right here, and then I'll take my profits. Or even try and see if it can break out there. If you're a long-term investor, does this really worry you? Well, let's check it out. Okay, let's look at the weekly chart. And if you look at the weekly and you evaluate, it's still actually coming in line, and it's still moving fairly well and healthy. If you look at the monthly chart, all that's really happened was when you look at it from a monthly long-term investor perspective, you're really just seeing, hey, we just went up quite a bit and we're getting kind of one of these little down movements here. So it's still on track to still keep going this way. So if we keep moving along these lines from a long-term investor perspective, coming down to here and pulling back and snapping back up, the stock is just fine and healthy. There's nothing wrong with the stock if you're a long-term investor. If you're doing it for a day trade, that's a different story. If you're doing it as a swing trade, again, you're watching maybe a little bit more of these close levels right here. The level here, as we look at the lows, 287.78 or the low of 288. So those are kind of the critical zones that you're watching. And if that stock breaks through, you could be short temporarily, but how far short would you go? Probably somewhere where this moving average is right there. That's kind of the way I would look at it. So those are the levels to watch, but you got to have a plan in mind of where does this fit into your portfolio? Because if you're a day trader, you trade it completely different. If you're a swing trader, completely different. And if you're a long-term investor, it'd be completely different. So what is the big plan if this thing goes against you? That's really what you're looking for because it's going to be a different type of plan. If you're a day trader, you probably just give it a few bucks. If you're a long-term investor, you pretty much have to give it a little bit more towards these lower levels because this is just a healthy, normal, slight little pullback for the time being. So anyways, that's kind of my thoughts on NVDA. Or Nvidia right now, from the looks of it, it's just coming right into that support level, and we will see how it behaves. We will see if there's more selling pressure to come. But if you look at the SPY or the S&P 500, we are down about 33, 34 points. We were down about 41 in the past earlier today. So we'll see if we'll get any pressure, and the pressure really from this overhead level is where we're at. It's right around 470, so 47. 100 or so on the SPX, and that's where we're getting a little bit of that trouble, 47.10, 47.12, in that range and zone. So anyways, thank you so much for joining me. Hope you enjoyed this video and little recap at a critical level for the stock, and feel free to check out some of the other videos and the live schedule that we have coming up here over the next couple months. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.